Peace, 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 and blessings. What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? What up, my love? Yes, this is Yasha Talks back at you one more time. Yes, one more again, my friend. I'm back at you. Yes, it's been a long time since I've done a live stream. I've been through a lot. Man, I've been in Facebook jail. My page has been flagged. I got flagged when I had uploaded the Dalai Lama when he told the little boy to suck his tongue. You know, when the Dalai Lama told the little boy to suck his tongue, I thought that was like, wow, the world need to know about this. You know, so the video was leaked to me early. I uploaded it, and I swear I uploaded it like 3 a.m. in the morning. And by 6 a.m., I had like 1,500 views. Like the views was ticking like pow, 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 pow. And it alerted the YouTube algorithms, right? And YouTube put me in flag restriction. You know, they flagged my account. That was crazy because the video in which I uploaded it from has like 3 million views, and it's still up to this very day. You know, so if they want to protect the children, you know, in which they flagged me for, you know, you're not going to protect it from 1,500 of my views when you got one video that has over 3 million views. Because with that 3 million views, you got to understand the paycheck that they're going to pay that uploader. And the reason why YouTube stopped that is because when videos go viral like that, YouTube try to find a way to stop it. You know, if it's not, if it wouldn't have been a child protective a policy violation, it would have been a copyright violation. You understand? I mean, YouTube is finding all type of ways to not pay people their money. And another reason why y'all ain't been seeing me is because I've gotten nearly 30,000 views, and YouTube only gave me $3 for them. 30,000 views with a CPM and an RPM, the numbers like mine, I'm supposed to have a check for about $1,400. But I'm looking on my revenue, and it's only like $3.50. You know, $3.54 or something like that. And that is just very discouraging for a content creator. You understand? Because at that rate, you're talking about, in order for me to get $100, you mean to tell me I got to have 1 million freaking views? You mean to tell me there's people making more money off of shorts than I'm making off of full videos, whose CPM is like $40 per 1,000 views, and I ain't seen $40 yet with 30,000 views? That's crazy, people. But anyway, no more with that. I just gotta learn the game and just do my thing. In fact, I'm just going to just don't even worry about the money and just do what God allows me to do, and the Lord is going to do His thing. Okay, I will not be investing no more money into promotions and ads and things like that, because it just doesn't. It's just a drop in the bucket with holes in it. Okay, now we're talking about the debate world. Let's talk about the debate world. What's going on in the world of debate? Now, in the world of debate, I want y'all to know that I have entered the 32-man debate. The 32-man debate, I don't know what the actual moniker for it is, but it's a 32-man debate. I think JJ 7000 Lions Den, Black Jesus Minister, I think Showtime Style debate for you, The Source. I think the ISUPK might have had a couple people that was trying to get in it. I don't know whether they made it. Who else has some people? I think Sinetta might have had a couple people that are regulars on the HOK is going to be in there. 32 men. Yeah, 32 men. I don't know. I think the Nepal might have gotten in it. I'm not sure. But it's a lot of people. You can go over to Black Jesus Ministers channel or I don't think Sinetta got anything up about it. Black Jesus Minister or the Lions Den. You can go on their channel and they have something about it, a little more detailed than what I am able to provide at this moment. But that's going to be interesting. We're talking about a 32-man tournament. Now, I'm going to participate. I have entered, and I am not going to be arrogant. I'm not going to be haughty. I don't know whether I am going to win, but I will tell you this. And the reason why I say I don't know whether I'm going to win, because I'm going to tell you this. The information that I'm going to drop is going to be 100, and it's going to be undebunkable all throughout the tournament, right? But you have instances where the debater is smarter than the judge and the audience, right? And where the audience, as well as the judge, get cognitive dissonance, you see. And if I lose, it'll be because of that situation at hand. On the intellectual tip, ain't nobody in the tournament is going to beat Yasha Ben Israel. We're talking about a 32-man match, and my first opponent is a very, 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 very good opponent. It's a brother that goes by the name of the Truest. Yes, the Truest will be my first opponent. Hold on for a second. I need to get this call for 1 second. 1 second. All right. Yeah, so the Truest, the Truest is going to be my first opponent in the 32-man. He's not going to be my last, It's sad that a man so great and so intelligent is going to get chopped down in round one. I don't like talking arrogant. But I just have to call it how I see it. I'm not calling it out of arrogance. I'm just comparing this young man's wit to mine. I'm like twice this boy's age. He's a non-believer in God. When you're a non-believer in God, you're not sure in your science. Your science is falsifiable. All right. The problem with this religious brother right here is that you're not going to come across any information that is falsifiable coming out of my mouth. You're not going to come across no conjecture, no guesswork, no defective or insufficient evidence. My evidence is not going to lack in quantity or quality. Now, mind you, I just got off of maybe about 20 minutes ago. I just got off of the Chris Harris show, Chris MVP Harris show. And I came through there and I made a special drop through. And Chris allowed me to drop through. And it was a very, 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 very intellectual and respectable discourse. Okay. And you will see how on the discourse that the younger male bowed down to the elder male, like the thing is supposed to be. He wasn't fighting, he wasn't growling, and he wasn't barking like he normally does. And this is the reason why in the debate that is going to manifest, unless Garfield run, because Chris is not going to run. Chris is a runner, but Chris has a little more confidence now. After today, Chris has a little more confidence. And Chris is never he's going to stand tall. And Garfield is going to run. I'm telling y'all what the future is going to hold in the debate world between Chris Harris and Garfield. Because Garfield has been found to be a very, very highly untrustworthy and fallacious debater. He has, when you understand what Jabari means, when Jabari says that Garfield has the worst arguments, that means that Garfield has fallacious arguments, because a logical fallacy is none more than a bad argument. It's a bad argument, and Garfield has bad arguments. You know, you have good arguments when you can seal the nail in the coffin. You know, when you have people like, oh, I understand, and there's no more questions. But when you constantly say things, and then what you say constantly evoke contrasting questions, then you should understand that your arguments are bad arguments. Yeah, but that's what we're dealing with here. And then you have it's just so much going on in the debate world. You know, I want to talk about what's going on in the debate world with Shaka, right? Shaka Amos Tazariak. Well, actually, I ain't even got to get off into that, you know, because the argument itself was a fallacious argument, you know. And I said that first, and I'm always the first to say something, to do something, and everybody, they don't like it because it came out of my mouth, right? You know, but because it's the truth, they have to bow down. And you seeing right now that everything that I have ever said, even the adversaries, a year later, are all bowing down. Chris Harris is going to defeat Garfield with the very arguments that I was going to pound Garfield into the ground with. And the argument that I have against Garfield was that you are not a scholar and you're not an academic, right? And that everything you say is highly fallacious. You're a disingenuous scholar, man. You know what I'm saying? And you're highly fallacious, you know, and that's my stance. And Chris Harris knows this. Chris Harris recognized this, because nobody in the conscious community spot out logical fallacies like myself first and Chris Harris. And this is the reason why we pound you guys into the ground, because we recognize your fallacious arguments, and we will stand to you in front of your face and prove to you that your argument is fallacious. Now, Chris tried to run that fallacious argument on me with the shoehorning thing, but actually we were not shoehorning information. The foot was a perfect fit for the shoe. It fitted right into the shoe perfectly with thin or thick socks, comfortably. You know what I'm saying? The foot was a 9, the shoe was a 9, and it fit comfortably. And I demonstrated that with Chris Harris. Therefore, I proved to him that I understand logical fallacies, in case you forgot, because I challenged Chris Harris to a duel when he was with Solar Vision or whatever, when I was in the Lion's Den. I think I was the Lions Den champion at that time. And I challenged Chris Harris. And Chris Harris said some things to me, and I showed him and told him how fallacious his arguments were. You see, I've been teaching Chris for the longest. Chris been pounding you guys down with my sort of scholarship. And truthfully, it's not my sort of scholarship. It's just academia and scholarship. It's the type of learning and research that you learn when you have been an academic, when you have participated in real academia, when you have went to grammar school, junior high school, or middle school, as they call it today. As you went through college preparatory school or high school, as some has went to. I went to a college preparatory school. I graduated from King High School, which is actually the finest school in the state of Michigan. You know, they would like to give it to Cass Tech and Renaissance, but I'm here to tell you, King's CSAT and MSAT, which I participated in all that, you know, it's the finest in the nation. You have people coming from Ann Arbor, Lansing, to bring their kids to school every day to participate in Martin Luther King's CSAT and MSAT program. You have foreign students, all kind of Chinese kids, Asian kids that's involved in Martin Luther King's MSAT and CSAT programs. And I graduated barely from that school. Mind you, I was a thug and wanted to be a gangster at that time, But I'm a young man, you're talking about 13, 14 years old, 15 years old, right? With that being the case, I want to talk about, and I want to solidify some things, about how I single-handedly raised the bar of consciousness over there in the house of consciousness. And all of the fallacies are not working. You got to understand that it was about a year ago around this time that I made my debut on the House of Consciousness on Sinetta Studios. And all of your greats, your Shaka Amoses, your Setis, your Omar Johnsons, your Pharaohs, ain't none of them people, your Polites, ain't none of those people came on the Sinetta show when Yasha was active on that show. And because of guys like Garfield and Chris Harris, right, and Reggie, all of the men that were recorded on the HOK going back and forth with Yasha, trust me, they are the best the HOK had to offer. And it has been said today that someone told me, if you can go on Chris Harris chats, a guy had, I think it was Mr. Love the Show. He made a statement where, Yasha, I've seen you debunked anytime. I mean, several times. But the truth of the matter is, Yasha has not been debunked. Never. Nobody has. People have cheated me. People have created distractions, right? Because I'm the man you love to forget. I'm your biggest threat. I'm the guy that you don't want to talk about. You don't want to mention his name. You don't want nobody to look at what this man got to possibly say. It's really bad because I teach even my enemies. And if you can learn from me, then you shouldn't be stopping others from learning from me. Okay? When I first came on the HOK, I made the statement, right? That, and I said it about Chris Harris, to Chris Harris. Sinetta was trying to make it like we scared of these people. And I told Sinetta, I said, man, these debates, man, fights, things like that, man, I don't run from them, I run to them. I don't run, I don't run from them, I run to them. I run to them and not from them, And Chris Harris has been using, when I said that to him, he felt that. And now that is Chris Harris's token slave, a token saying, okay? But do know that Yasha Ben Israel coined that. And I give Chris Harris the permission, with respect, that I coined that, to say that. And later on, I'm going to make a video to show you demonstrate to you all of the things that I'm going to say and to talk about in this video. The reason why I didn't, bring the evidence here, because it takes a lot of research. I got to do a lot of clips. I got to do a lot of editing. I could save the editing by live streaming, but I just rather clip it because I'm still going to have to do the research. These guys be having 2, 3, 4 hour videos, and some of this stuff goes back over a year ago. So I have to listen to the whole video to get the sound bite and the clips, But everything that I'm saying is certain. Now we want to talk about this Tank Davis out here, right? This monster, young black boxer, and he's a monster, right? Very, very formidable character. Sarnetta tried to make me don't like him. Sarnetta tried to make me don't like him because everybody that had the nerve to stand up against Yasha, he called these guys Tank Davis. Now, as we know today, the original Tank Davis is not Chris Harris. The original Tank Davis was Garfield. And it's because I called out Garfield first. And he told me that Garfield to the HOK, he's the Tank Davis over here. It was Garfield that was Sarnetta's HOK's Tank Davis, right? So after I've proven to the world vehemently, through the smog and the fog, right? Because my people, we got night vision, right? We got tunnel vision. We got X-ray vision. We got infrared vision, baby. We can see through the bull crap. After I had proved Garfield, I proved Garfield wrong when I talked about what he said. I proved Garfield wrong when I sit up here and show the battle of Lashish and the release of Lashish. When he sat up there and came with this fallacious book and tried to say the positioning, the occupation, and the occupation of the Israelites in Babylon. And he tried to make it that because they went towards the east, that would make them white or European people, right? That it would make them less Afro-Asiatic or less black. But I read the hieroglyphics of Lashish and made a designation who was Israel and who was not. And you had these Israelites that had these afros, the little afros, big afros. You had Israelites that had bald heads, short haircuts. You had Israelites that had dreadlocks. And you had Israelites that had dreadlocks in fancy styles like Busta Rhymes and the fancy styles that the guys wear today. Those guys were wearing those styles back then. And these people are the only people on the planet that fancify their hair like that. That has ever done it. And I'm going to go and be bold and say that ever will do it. Ain't no person that don't have that gene in their DNA is going to ever do their hair exactly like on the Battle of Lashish release. And then that's when Garfield invented this term called lookership. That's a Garfield invention. And it's just as much a Garfield invention as the Chris Harris's spreading logical fallacy. You understand what I'm saying? These guys will appeal to the ignorance of the audience because there is no spreading logical fallacy. Like I told Chris Harris, me and you go back and forth over logical fallacies, but Garfield just completely ignore logical fallacies and give up the most fallacious arguments that one has ever heard. Now, I told y'all what the business is. I told y'all that we were playing chess and not checkers, right? And you go back and watch the first video on that and watch the second video on that. And then you come back to this juncture right here, you'd understand that I'm right. I told the Israelites to fall back from the HOK. You ain't got to quit HOK. We all love Sah and his work, right? Yeah, get it, granted, right? But fall back from the HOK. Let Sah do his thing and you focus on doing your thing. Let Sah build his shit without you and you build your shit without Sah. You're going to become more powerful. Sah going to become more powerful. And then in any event, the Israelites is not going to be there to get beat up on. And we're going to see what Sarnetta is going to do about content since he ain't got Israelites to beat up on every show. And what begins to happen is that you got these jackals and these hyenas in the conscious community. And Sinetta, the HOK is filled with jackals and hyenas. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites is more like jackals, right? And the other non-godly people on HOK is like hyenas. You know, the hyenas will fight and eat up on the jackals, and they'll eat up on the jackals as long as the jackals is in the house, right? But when the jackals is all ate up or then ran away to safety, right, and there's nothing else to eat, then the hyenas will start eating upon themselves, right? You know, the hyena, the hierarchy that is led by feminine energy, by femininity, beta male energy, right? The betas. And that's what they do. That's what the beta males do. You see, there's no food around, so they begin to eat up on each other. See, if there was a man, a masculine energy around, and there was no food around, then that's when they got to look at that alligator over there, like, hey, it's either me and him. That's when that lion has to look at that rhinoceros and say, man, it's either me or you, brother. That's when that lion got to look at that big old elephant and say, man, it's either me or you, brother. I got to eat. And I think that I know I can't handle you by myself, but I can get me about 3 or 4 males and probably about 3 or 4 females, and I'm quite sure we can take you down and we can eat, man, because we got to eat. And the lions will do that, and the jackals will do that before they resort to the eating of each other. You understand what I'm saying? And the hyena as well. But when there is no food there, the hyena ain't gonna run up on that big lion. He gonna eat up the other one because he know he can't beat that lion. Now if it's about 5 or 20 of them that he'll run up, right? You know, that's how they do. They run up on an elephant. If it's 100 of them, right? But it's gonna just have to be just that, about 100 of them. He's gonna have to know without a shadow of a doubt that this elephant ain't got a chance. The bad part about it is usually not enough hyenas in the pride to just take down one big old elephant. You know. But yeah, we talking about what's going on in the conscious community. They had the debate, the 32-man debate. I sent in my application it's been about a week ago. And I think I finished it off maybe earlier this week, maybe Wednesday or something like that. So that's what's happening. You got JJ 7000. I mean, you got a bunch of big names that's going to be in there. Stay up, stay tuned. You know, I'm going to keep talking about it and keeping us alert on what's going on with the debate. You know, but yeah, you know, it's a lot of things that even with the fallacies, you know, like I said on Chris Harris show, you know, I was talking about how Slim Reaper just pounded Garfield in the ground with the argument from ignorance, you know, and when you got guys that have been a scholarship and been through a scholarship in academia, you know, guys that have been to colleges and universities, we can spotlight and understand clearly what a logical fallacy is. The reason that Garfield doesn't get these things is because he's just all hot air. You know, he wished that we wasn't Israelites, and he hoped, and he think that if he can just rewrite history, you know, that we won't be Israelites. Or if he could just say, fuck it, I can't rewrite history. So what I will do is that I'll just side with the enemies of the of history that are in authoritative position. And he does the argument. Garfield's biggest fallacies is the appeal to ignorance and the appeal to authority, a logical fallacy, because now Garfield is out here talking about if you can't give peer-reviewed works, a peer-reviewed work don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You should have your works reviewed by professors, college professors, people that are above you, right? Not your peers, because your peers is your peers. They can't tell you whether you're right or wrong. They're your peers. And not that you respect them, right? Because they're your peers, right? You only respect your superiors. You should have a superior review work, not a peer review work. You know, you should have your work reviewed by people that are not your peers. You know, well, you want to have see what happens is that a lot of these peer review works are done by people who have credentials, right? So what they would do is get other people that has credentials, right? But these credentials are not credible for the subject in which the peer review article is being evaluated. You know, you may have a guy he may be talking about evolution, right? And the guy that is doing the evolution, they're doing the evolutional critique. He may be a dentist or something. Yeah, he has a degree, but he doesn't have a degree in microbiology and just in any kind of biology, evolutionary biology, and etc. So Garfield does the appeal to authority. This is the reason why he always calling some type of scholar, on his show, because he doesn't. If he had a PhD, all he had to do is just show his PhD, and he wouldn't have to get no scholar. His word would be credible, even if he was lying about it. He could misuse a real PhD like that, a degree. But he got other scholars and academics coming on his show, and like Razib Khan, he tried to make it like Razib Khan was in agreement with what he was saying, and Razib Khan was in 100% opposition to the idea and the ideas that Garfield is out here pushing. You'd have to wonder why do a person hate life so much that they would rather rewrite history? So that's what's going on with that. So you got the 32-man debate. What else went on out here? It was a couple of debates that went on out here. I can't think of them right off the top right now. Because really, I'm really not focused on any other debates and debaters but me right now at the moment. It's time for me to let y'all know what's going on with Terry. I ain't talked to y'all in the live stream in about 2 weeks. Yeah, so we got this 32-man debate coming up, and that's going to be fire, I mean, if I get put out in any round, I'm going to be a good sportsman about it. And hey, man, good. It would be nice for me to get taken out in the first round, and that way I ain't got to worry about it. I could go back to my life and my podcasting and all of that, because when you win in them debates, you're going to have to spend time. Now you got another level to go. You probably got about 4 or 5 levels to go. I'm so stingy and selfish with my time, because I understand time is valuable. I really don't like committing myself to have to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm doing it because I'm backed by popular demand. I had some fans, some followers, some friends, told me that they believed that it would be a good idea that I enter it. I thought about it, I told them I'd think about it, man. I thought about it. I think the pot is maybe a $700 prize. That would be a nice little come up, but hey, I'm just going in it, man, and just gonna do what I gotta do. I know I'm not coming with no lies, no false information, no faulty information, no defective information, right? My information is not going to be information that lacks in neither quantity or quality, right? So on my end, whoever debates me, that's going to be a nice debate, you know. With that being that, I'm fixing to fall back and send this show to the edit room, edit it up, doctor it up a little bit, and then republish it back to the streets. Uh, I don't know.
Tina. How you doing, bro? Been alright? I'm looking at TV, chilling. I've been calling you, but we haven't dialed both numbers. The other, the other number, I've been calling that one too. So it don't work? Okay, okay, okay. Well, I'm gonna delete it out of it. I'm just trying to learn how to walk again. Yeah, yeah. I know that's right. Oh, yeah, yeah. I agree. Like, yeah. Mm, what? No. He be on, I think on Sunday. He be on Sunday and Monday. He be on there playing all the time old music. They doing a good stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. You gotta give it to him. He was awesome. Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. Mm. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah. You can talk to him. Oh, you will? Oh, okay. I ain't talking on him. Why you talking to my husband? Why you talking to my husband? Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. Right. No, not Pinto. Not Pinto. No, I don't like it. You cooking, with the white people. No, not them. Northern. Yeah, Northern. I don't like that. I don't even know about it. Yeah, yeah. They be staring at me and stuff. Heck yeah. Uh, uh, no, no, no. Don't like that. No, no, no. I'm glad you're doing okay. Wait, wait. I'm not okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Right. You still got my number though? What? Wow. Dang. Alrighty then. Yeah, what they doing? They redoing our places. So when they get to where they done did my bathroom, next they about to start on the kitchen. Then I heard they doing the windows and doors. Uh, yeah, so once they get through with that, oh yeah, then you can come see me. He's on and check on. Yeah. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if I did or not. Hold on, Jimmy. Hello? Talking to Jimmy. Okay, okay. Yeah, I know. I'm waiting on him to get to with the beans. Alright. Yeah, we do. I'm gonna ask him. Good. Oh yeah. I thought that's my yeah, that's my daughter's godmom. And her son, her son is my pastor. Uh, they doing good. Uh, never left Pittsburgh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you is? I didn't know that. Wow. Right. Uh, yeah. No, I'm born 54, baby. I'm about to. hit that 70 mark. 50, what, 6, 57, something. 50, no, 60, 67, something like that. Yeah, I'm 2 years from 70. We're not there. Yeah, we is. Got 7, what, got 7 grandkids and 5 great grands. 5, 7 grandkids and 5 great grands. Do you now? All right now. How old is they? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You ain't got no great grand. Yeah. Heck yeah. um, well, I can't do nothing 'cause I can't get out the bed. I just asked the Lord to let me get out the bed so I can get in that wheelchair and push myself around. I can't get in there by myself. Yeah, somebody got, somebody got to put me in. Yeah, oh yeah, that's it. Anyway, keep in touch. All right, my baby. Be safe. I love you too.